Good morning, good morning. You know, I just want to, before we talk, I just felt like God's Spirit has just been flowing through all morning long during worship and the incredible baptism stories. And I just want to pause. If you're here today and it's time to let go. It's time to stop, and it's time to turn a different direction. If you've been living for yourself or living for the devil, you've never surrendered your life to Jesus. Right now is time. You don't have to do a thing. The work has been done. Jesus did it all. It is the gift of salvation that is here today, and it is free, and it is available for you. I think that the devil loves to convince us we've gone too far and we're out of God's reach and there's no forgiveness. It would be so hard for God to love us now. It's all done. All those lies are simply saying what Jesus did was not enough. And I'm here to tell you, it's more than enough. His grace is sufficient for you. Let's give the angels more reason to celebrate. If you're here and you're just ready to die to yourself, die to the path you've been living, and say yes to Jesus, I want to lead you in a prayer. I'm not going to ask you to do anything, but just let's everyone close their eyes just to limit some distractions. And if that is you, if you're ready to say yes to Jesus, I want you to pray this prayer. I encourage you to at least whisper it out loud so your mind and heart can hear it. Just say, "Dear Jesus, I am a sinner. I've gone too far, and I need you today. Save me. Cleanse me. I give you my life. Fill me with your love. Transform me today. Make me a new creation. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Come on, let's clap for the, come on. Woo! A relationship with God, that's the easy part. The devil loves to convince us it's hard, but Jesus did it all. We just die to ourselves and we say yes to Him. If you have just surrendered to Jesus, please, before you go, share that. Share that with one of our intercessors, somebody close to you. Let us know so we can begin celebrating and walking with you. Today, very quickly, we only have just a few minutes, so I want to throw out there with you some 3 quick love boosters for your marriage. We are coming to the end of Marriage University. This is week number 9. It's been good. It's been good, challenging in so many ways. We're kind of ending today, although next Sunday, Easter Sunday, fired up about that. You ready to worship God on Easter? I mean, that's one of the coolest days. On Easter, we're still kind of going to be in Marriage University, but the emphasis is not going to be on couples. It is going to be on God's proposal to us. You know, when we get married, we say our I do's and we make some vows. I'm telling you, when you see what happens when God makes a promise, it will fire you up. I mean, to know that God has promised to never leave or forsake us. And when you see what happens when God promises to do something, it'll just bring so much freedom and joy and security to your relationship with Him. So we're going to have a time next week for couples who want to renew their commitment to each other. There'll be opportunity for that, but also for anyone to say yes to God's proposal for eternal covenantal relationship with Him. So I'm fired up about it. So here's how I would like for you to help us this week. Do these 3 things. 1, ask God to cross your path with someone who needs an invitation, who needs an encounter with God. Now, I think of the story of the Good Samaritan. It's so easy to be distracted and keep right on going, being about our business. Ask for God to give you His eyes and His heart. Let your spiritual radar be peaked and looking for people who will be open to an invitation. On Easter Sunday, the world's thinking about church and Jesus, and chances of them coming to church skyrocket with a personal invitation. I'm not talking about a commercial. Don't just say, "Hey, you need to go to church," or "You just come to church." No, a personal invitation. Say, "Hey, you know what? This Sunday is Easter. We have 2 services, 9 and 10:45. I would love for you to be my guest. If you need a ride, I'll pick you up. If not, I will wait for you at the door. You just tell me which service is better for you." A personal, sincere invitation to let them know you mean it. All right, just look for that everywhere you go. And here's the thing, when your church experience will radically change when you're sitting with someone who is your first-time guest. Like if church ever starts to get stale at all, it's because you've stopped participating in evangelism, all right? Like everywhere I go, I'm looking for people to invite. It comes more naturally to me. I love engaging people and inviting people. Had a guest here last Sunday, and that fires me up when I know someone's here for the first time. And if you're sitting with someone here for the first time, it will change everything. You'll just be so engaged. You'll just be praying for them. You want them to have a great experience. But if you just show up week after week as a consumer and you just sort of lost touch with reaching out, it will get stale and dry to you. So when somebody comes to me and they have a complaint about church, my first question, when's the last time you brought somebody? When you engage in evangelism and reaching out and bringing people to have an encounter with God, it changes everything. So pray for that this week. Second thing you can do is I encourage you, we were running tight on space today. I would ask you, if possible, would you participate in the first service, the 9 o'clock service. We have more space in that one. It will help us out. Easter's always a packed day for us. And the third thing you can do is show up and clock in. You know, if you're a member, we're not consumers anymore. We are contributors and givers. We are looking for people to serve. And the 30 minutes leading up to church and the 30 minutes right after church are the two most important times for our guests, because that's why we have 30-minute intermission, so we can strategically love on people. You'll notice when people show up for the first time, you've seen that deer in the headlights look. Like they don't know what they just stepped into, or these people really as crazy as I've heard. Like they don't know what they're about to experience. And they don't know where to go or what to do. Look for those people. Make them feel welcome. Now, the 30 minutes after service, that's when they've now experienced church and now they've got questions. Okay, now I want to know more. That's the prime follow-up time to help people and answer any questions they have. So 30-30 is what we call it. 30 before, 30 after. Be on mission and help us love on folks. All right, let's jump into the 3 quick love boosters for your marriage to really infiltrate and inject some love and passion into your marriage. You ready? Let's do this. Number 1, I'm going to throw them quickly because we're running out of time. Number 1, love God first. I'm amazed how many couples get married and their relationship with God is virtually non-existent, and they think they're going to be okay. Why? Because, I don't know, they're attracted to each other. God is not simply a loving God. He is love. He is the source. So if you disconnect from God, love is not possible. We love Him first, and out of that relationship flows everything. Now, some of you have lost sight of your mission on earth, okay? And let me really simplify it for you. Your mission here is to love. Your mission is to learn to love. Every day you are here learning how to love. In fact, people came to Jesus, and in His day, teachers were given so many rules and laws. You need to do this. Finally, people came to Jesus like, Jesus, help us out. What's the one thing we need to do? Can you summarize it? Jesus said, here's the greatest command. You do this, and everything else will fall into place. And that is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. In fact, He promises if you seek Him first, everything else will be given to you. Everything else will fall into place. And we lose sight of that. Men, I know what you feel. I can relate to the desire, the feeling to want to be successful, want to do a good job. You are not here on earth to be successful. If your purpose was to be successful, and we lose sight of this sometimes, then what happens? Anytime something interferes with our success, we get agitated. It bothers us. We lose our temper. We get upset. And when we come home and we're tired, if we're not getting the support we need or the encouragement we need, then it's a problem because we've forgotten our purpose here is to learn how to love. simply to learn how to love better. Not to be successful. That's one of those, all these things will be added to you if you do this first. So women, you are not here to be known as the next Martha Stewart. I see this, in, not my family, of course not, but in other families, like when we're getting ready for company and we're trying to get all the food prepared and decorations, if you think your purpose is to be Martha Stewart, then when the kids come through and throw their dirty socks on the kitchen table, oh my goodness. Like, if you forget, it reminded me of a story when I was there. The only time I ever ran away from home as a kid, I was about 8 years old. I ran away from home because my grandmother, we called her Nana because she was world famous for her banana puddings. That's how she got her name, Nana. She was good at Nana pudding. That was her thing. And when Nana made Nana pudding, oh my goodness, this was an event. And people would come over, other family members would be invited. This was a big thing. She did it the kind where you slipped it in the oven for a little bit with the meringue on top, and then there was this cooling off period where we all just gathered around and gazed at the glory of the cooling banana pudding. And I was about 8 years old, and I loved Nana's Nana pudding. But I was getting too antsy. I was getting too close. So they gave me fly killing duty, all right? And so they said, Brad, you just keep the flies away from the banana pudding. So I'm at the windows, I'm swatting the ceiling, I'm mastering fly killing duty. And then they were like, hey everybody, the pudding is finally cooled. It's time to begin. And we all gather around. And I just happened to notice a fly land right in the middle. And I said, hey, I got it. And I immediately ran away from home. I dropped the fly swatter, ran out the door, ran 2 blocks down the street, and I just sat there contemplating how I would survive on my own. Because I had just committed the unforgivable sin. I had destroyed Nana's Nana pudding. But see, if our family had our priorities straight, it wasn't about the Nana pudding. It would have been about love and compassion rather than beating my tail. But I can relate to whatever your gift is, whatever your passion is. You want to do it well and you want it to be perfect. But when you lose sight and then your purpose becomes that thing, well then if anything interferes with that thing, it's going to throw you off track. You're going to blow a fuse. And it can be anything. There's a million options. There's a million alternatives out there, but simplify it to this. Your purpose is to learn how to love. So when the Christmas tree lights get tangled, you just tell yourself, my job's to learn how to love. When the kids bring home some trash or bad grades or they're misbehaving, hey, my job's to learn how to love. When your spouse does or says something you don't like and don't agree with, my job's to learn how to love. And every day when you get that flat tire, my job's to learn how to respond in love. And we've been in our small group, John and Stacy Eldridge's curriculum, Love and War. Their last session was on, they called it 1,000 little choices. How do you do this? How do you learn how to love? By the 1,000 little choices and opportunities you'll meet every single day of your life. As soon as you leave here, something's going to happen where you have the choice either to respond in love or to not. Will you walk by the Spirit or will you walk by the flesh? Your purpose is to learn how to love. So starting out, every little decision, every little circumstance, every little conflict, good, bad, whatever, think to yourself, my one purpose here is to learn how to love like Jesus. It will simplify so much, and it will change your response to everything. So number 1, love God first. Number 2, pray together daily. This one's going to bring conviction for many of you as it does me. We sat down in our small group, and John, the Eldridges, talked about everywhere they go, they ask couples, how often do you pray together? How many of you pray together daily? And they say across the country, the numbers are very, very few. And we are one of those. That has not been our habit. I'll just confess to you, it's easy to pray for each other, and in special times, hey, let's come together and pray together. We'll pray with our kids, but that has not been a daily routine. I'll just be honest. With 5 kids and a big church and busy lives, if we ever get a moment alone, prayer is not what we're thinking about, all right? I'll let you just connect the dots there. But it has not been a habit that we have formed in our marriage, and our small group time has so opened our eyes to this. All right, we've got a couple couples in our group who pray together daily, and it just inspired us. And I want you to understand, I want you to see this. I want you to see why this is so important and why this is so difficult at the same time. If you've ever tried to come together and pray as a married couple, you know it's awkward, and as soon as you make that decision, you're going to get ticked off about something. Something's going to happen. There's going to be a distraction. That should tell you why it's so important. The enemy's trying everything to keep you apart in that area. But look at what it says in Genesis. When God brought man and woman together, he says, I want to create them in my image, in my likeness, so that you will then have authority over all creation. And if there is chaos in your children's lives, in your home, in your marriage, in your business, if there is chaos, think about it. Are you using the authority God has given you when you unite together in prayer? If not, don't be surprised. Here, couples want to try everything else except actually go to God. So let us all start fresh with this commitment today to begin to exercise the authority given to us over all creation to stop the works of the enemy in our homes and in our families. I got to meet over the last few months Isaac and Correll Scott. They're in our small group. I love y'all. They're serving as intercessors right now. And this is part of their story of when their lives changed and they begin to pray together daily. I want you to watch their testimony. Powerful stuff.
Hi, my name is Isaac Scott, and this is my wife, Correll. We've been married for 33 years. I was about 19, 21, when Correll and I got married. And life was just pure hell. When you are out just doing what you want to do and not what God is telling you to do, and not being obedient to the word. But even though, like I said, we are going hearing the word every Sunday, but not being obedient to the word. The word is actually not seeking in. We're actually just going through the motion.
When I got married, I just envisioned this perfect relationship. I just had it all figured out. At the time, not realizing that it was impossible to be perfect because we are two imperfect individuals. I strayed away from God at one point. I strayed away from God. I decided one day that I would come clean, with Isaac. I said, after we sat and, confessed some of the things that we had done, infidelity was one of them. And, I just wanted to put everything out there. I asked for forgiveness. He asked for forgiveness. And when I talked to him and I said, I'm putting everything out here, and I know that, this is probably going to be the end of our relationship, but it was really the beginning. God played a tremendous role in our working through our issues. The only hope that we had was in God.
Even though when I was just out there just doing what I wanted to do, still God had mercy on me. And still God watched over me even in my wrongdoing. He just kept pursuing me.
About 6 months ago, I saw a great change. Isaac really began to develop a relationship with God. I remember kneeling beside the bed, and I can remember him grasping my hand. And ever since that night, we've prayed every night and every morning, and we've seen a tremendous change. I mean, it has become an emotional intimacy, just like the physical intimacy, how it reaffirms our oneness. So does the emotional intimacy. You know, when we kneel before God, when we hear, you know, I know He loves me, but when I hear Him pray for me now, it just reassures the knowledge that I, have. The war is against Satan. You know, we realize that we are not each other's enemy. You know, we are a team. You know, in a heated discussion, we'll stop. You know, we'll stop and we'll speak into that spirit. You know, this will not happen. We are a team. We are one. We're not fighting against each other. And we began to pray.
When you set out to do good, evil is always, lurking around. And like I said, we recognize the devil when he bring things. And I'm gonna tell you this here. One thing about, getting up early in the morning praying, the devil was trying to throw at me is that, okay, you're gonna be late for work. But guess what? I mean, Satan used a lie. Even when I was having to be up at 4 o'clock to be to work at 5, I started being to work on time. And I believe it because I was getting up, taking time with my wife, and we pray. The devil is busy. He's out to kill and destroy as many marriages. I mean, just break up homes. I mean, just do whatever he got to do. So the key to it is prayer. I mean, stay on your knees. Pray all during the day for each other.
Pray. And when you come together, when you unite spiritually, Satan has to flee.
Woo! It's good stuff. I love the Scots. I know more about you than I ever, oh my goodness. Let me just tell you, we get real in small group time, all right? One funny little story. Isaac said one morning it was 4 o'clock and he woke Corell up to pray with her, and he was in the middle of praying, and the next thing you know he hears snoring going on. It's like, so you won't get it, Corell. I got to tell you, we were talking about the things that change when you get older. Corell said, well, you may not drop it like it's hot, but you can still ease it down like it's warm, you know what I'm saying? Oh, love the Scots. Love the Scots. Can we commit to praying together? You may mess up. God, if you mess up, hey, there's all kind of fears. You're going to get angry. It's going to be awkward. You're going to be fearful. What if it doesn't work? And then if you miss a day, God's always there to give you that next chance. Come on, tomorrow's a new day. His mercies are new every morning. He's going to say, hey, let's start fresh today. So if that's God's response to you, let that be your response to each other. Don't throw condemnation at each other. Oh, well, you said you were going to pray. Well, obviously, let's not do that to each other. Let's encourage each other to go here and pray together daily. And the final thing, we're out of time, so I'm just going to give it to you quickly. The final thing, Love Booster. Love Booster 1, love God first. Your purpose here is to learn how to love. Number 2, pray together daily. Number 3, never stop growing. Just never stop growing. Don't get complacent. Don't get in that rut. There are a million tools to add to your marriage toolbox. There are a million things you can do to continue to grow. You can start praying together. You can read books together. Join a marriage small group together. Go to a marriage retreat together. together. Don't quit dating. Don't stop telling each other what you love about each other. Never, ever, ever stop growing. This art of love takes a lifetime to master, and we never figure it all out. So never, ever stop growing. I want to leave you with a tool that encompasses all three of these boosters today. We worked hard to get these off the press this week. We have a red one for married couples and a blue one for singles, for unmarried individuals. As you leave today, I want you to take this. Now, let me just go ahead and tell you, these are some fairly intense exercises that I want you to do together that are designed to pry into every area of your life based off all of the messages in this series. So, for instance, the very first exercise, it says that marriage is tough and we all bring brokenness into this relationship. And it calls for you to stop and to think about what is some of the baggage, what is some of the brokenness that you brought into your marriage. And there's a place for each of you to write these things down. Now, I'm going to tell you, this will open the door for the devil to get in there and lead to conflict, arguments, things like that. You may want to pray as you go into this. Do not allow that to happen. Agree that you're going to respond to all of this with love and grace, forgiveness, compassion. As you work through this together, a lot of great exercises to get you refocused, reset your priorities, bring about healing and renewal. And at the end of every exercise, it calls on you to pray together for each other, that wounds be healed, that love be restored, and that forgiveness be alive in your marriage and in your home. So take this with you. It's our gift to you for your faithfulness through Marriage University, and I hope you love it. And I hope it's for my wife and I have started going through this. It's really been fun, meaningful, helpful in a lot of ways. So enjoy. There's space for both of you in one booklet, so you don't need two if you're a married couple, but as long as we have a supply, take more for friends. And the one for singles, there's some different exercises, some of the same and some different ones. My encouragement to you is that you find a trusted family member or friend that you can go through it together, share your answers back and forth. Maybe y'all go through it all in one big date night or something like that, or spread it out and exercise a day this week. But I pray it's fruitful to encourage you to love God first, pray daily, and to never stop growing. Let me pray for you. Father God, we thank you for this time together. I pray for every couple here. Restoration, Father, in Jesus' name. Take us to a new place. Amen. Hey, I want to let you know, Growth Track 2 is happening right now across the way, developing spiritual habits. If you haven't participated, join us for lunch. Easter Sunday next week. God bless you, church.